There is never, ever an injustice that is done, ever, 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 ever. But there are plenty of times that you get something different than what you want. But when you get something different from what you want, it's not because an injustice has occurred. It's because you've got a different dominant vibration than your own desire. Don't you love knowing that? Not so much. So if you are offering a vibration about what you're observing, you're holding yourself apart from the expanded you that has already taken form in this vortex of creation. We know it's a little mind twisting that happens as we try to convey to you the wholeness of who you are. We know that it's not easy to wrap your thoughts around things that you can't see, but we also know you are vibrational beings and have been from the moment you set forth into this physical body. What we want you to hear us say, the meaning that we want you to collect from this conversation is that the emotions that you feel are your vibrational indicators of the blending or the resisting between you and you. And as you allow yourself to feel your way into alignment with who you are, as you tune that frequency, we promise you it will broadcast in a way that you can hear it. It will broadcast in a way that you can see it. It must manifest. It will come into full view for you in powerful ways if you will allow yourself to be a vibrational match to what is present tense from our point of view. Now, in order for you to get very good at that, you could stand in the middle of a problem and say, wait. I remember Abraham said, if I'm standing in the middle of a problem, the solution is already there. So good to know. It's already there. Instead of saying, where is it? I can't find it. I don't know where it is. I've been here so long. I'm unhappy about being here. I'm afraid. I'm disappointed. I don't deserve this. What has gone wrong in my life experience? This problem should not be mine. I don't want it, but I've got it. Will you help me? I'm afraid. And we say, as you beat the drum of where you are in your problem, you hold yourself vibrationally out of earshot, out of feel shot, out of the feeling place of what's going on, the solution that's already present tense over here in this vortex of creation. So all day today, you're going to hear us. You're going to talk about a lot of things, and we're going to give you one eventually very boring answer. Go to the vortex, 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 until eventually we'll break you down and someone will scream from the back row, how do we get in the vortex? And we want you to understand that the vortex is a vibrational state of being that you feel your way to. And the way you go to the vortex is by reaching for the feeling of what the vortex feels like. So we're just going to tell you what the vortex feels like. The vortex feels like this place of well-being, where a feeling of well-being, a feeling of stamina, a feeling of vitality. It's that fresh feeling. Think about the alternative. So you get up in the morning and you really don't want to go to work, but that's the way you make your money for now. So you think, well, in a perfect world, I'd fix that. So I wouldn't go to work. I'd just have my own money coming somehow. And in order to do that, I've got to have a really good idea. So I need to get on the internet and I need to explore all of the ideas and decide what's a really good idea for me. And then I'm really not prepared to do that. I don't have the equipment and I don't have the money to get the equipment, but I'll find some grant. I'll find some way. I'll find somebody that will give me the money so that I can get the equipment so that I can create my own business. And then I'll do as much as I can, but then I might need some employees. And they'll have to come to work. I'm having a hard time working this out because I'm doing this whole thing because I don't want to work. So they probably won't want to work either. So I'll get back on the internet and I'll find those who want to work. That's what I'll do. I'll find those who want to work, and I'll create a business that will be big enough that then they can come and they can work. And we say, or you could just get in the vortex. You could just get in the vortex. You could just find a way of finding a thought that doesn't feel uncomfortable and let the universe who has much better than a Google search engine, who has access to every vibration on the planet, who knows who everyone is, where everyone is, exactly what their vibration is, who will perfectly match you with everything that you have put into your vortex of creation, where law of attraction has already assembled all cooperative components. So the question that we want to put to you is, are you a cooperative component to your own desire? And the answer is usually not. The answer is, if you're feeling elation, yes, but if you're feeling frustration or overwhelmment, or if you're worried, then you are not a vibrational match. You are not a cooperative component to your own creation, to your own vortex. Let's offer this one strong statement, because we haven't said it before. Let law of attraction do all of the controlling, and you just adjust your vibration. So you have to stop looking at what you don't want and start looking at what you do want. But we've never known anybody who could just stop doing that. You have to start doing something else. And that's the whole point. You want to focus yourself into the vortex. And we know that the fast way in is to just care about how you feel. When you get in there, everything you want's in there. Every single time you feel negative emotion, no matter what, whether it's depression, whether it's fear, whether it's anger, whether it's overwhelmment, it does not matter what the negative emotion is, although there are levels of them in terms of intensity. All negative emotion indicates exactly the same thing. It means your life has caused you to expand to a new place, and the larger part of you has taken the expansion and is beaming the signal of it, but what you're thinking about in the moment of your negative emotion doesn't match up. And so you are holding yourself in resistant vibrational accord to who you really are and all that you have become. And until you find a way of letting go of that resistance, you're not going to feel good. You're not going to see the manifestation of what you want, because you're on a different frequency than it is. You cannot set your radio dial on 6:30 a.m. and hear what's being broadcast on 98.7 FM. The frequencies have to match up. And you cannot have your frequency set on I'm sick, or I don't have enough money, or I'm lonely. You cannot have your frequency set there and be a vibrational match to the abundance and well-being and relationship that is not just queued up for you. It is a vibrational reality that you have access to right now if you will just stop doing that thing you do that holds you apart from it. So, what's that thing you do? Well, it's morphed into a lot of variety, but that thing you do is you look at what is instead of what is. Those who are listening on the recording are going to say, what? You look at what is already manifested reality instead of what is vibrational reality. And in doing so, you don't line up with the larger part of you who exists in this larger vibration. You see, we want to find a way of convincing you of who you really are. We want you to remember you didn't just start with that infant body. You are consciousness, eternal consciousness. You've been around a really long time. You didn't just blunder in here unworthy to prove worthiness. You didn't just blunder in here hoping that life would be better. You are a creative genius who said, what could possibly be better than to come as consciousness into a time-space reality that has this much evolution already under its belt? Vague and non-resistant is excellent and far better than specific and resistant. The non-resistance is what you're rooting for. Mm-hmm. However, non-resistant and specific is a whole lot more fun than non-resistant and vague. So, tune yourself and then get specific. Milk it. Milk it. For example, feel the synergy of it. So let's say that you're specific and resistant. So then you become less specific and therefore less resistant. And then you identify an emotion, and then you take the bounce and you identify consciously and viscerally what the emotion is that you're reaching for, like we just did. Mm-hmm. And then you focus there and you use words. You're really good at that, at describing the emotion. So you find the feeling place of that, and you stay there for way more than 68 seconds until you really get the reverberation of that well-being flowing within you. And then you begin to find more descriptive thoughts, maybe. But whether you get more descriptive thoughts right away or not, you've shifted your vibration, and now law of attraction is going to bring you together with others who are already there. Better stated, they already got there. They got there before you got there. You were the last holdout as a cooperative component, and now you have just felt your way into sync. And so now you're standing in this new place, and it feels refreshing. It feels eager, and you find yourself wanting to look around. It's like, here's a good example. Let's say that you have a very high standard of life, and you find yourself in this really horrible, dirty, stinky, beaten down environment, and you find yourself not really wanting to look around that much. There's roadkill and dead things, and you don't want to look around. You want to be general. But let's say that you're in a place that's beautiful and there are many, many things. You find yourself looking around. You find yourself gravitating to, wanting to find the specifics, and taking great satisfaction in the detail that you're observing. Mm-hmm. So what we were getting at is, in this environment where you've tuned yourself to the fullness of who you are, where you have capacities to understand and see things deeper and feel them fuller, and now law of attraction is bringing you together with others, and now there's a synergy going where the conversations are enlivened. Everybody wants to talk at once. You've all got wonderful things that you want to say. Everyone's tuned in other words, and it's a lot more fun to be in an environment like that than sitting in a room by yourself. More specific and least resistant is the best state of being that there is. We want you in the vortex, we want you in the vortex, we want you in the vortex, we want you in the vortex. And we see no excuse for any of you, now that you know what you know, not to be in the vortex. In other words, there's no reason to not be in the vortex. We just want you to know that once you get in there and you stabilize in there and you find the feeling place of it and you remind yourself of who you really are and what it feels like to be in the vortex, we'll never have to have this conversation again. Esther heard the words, she heard the words, she heard the words, she heard the words, she heard the words. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. She's been listening to us for years. Have you seen how many ways we've stood on her head in order to explain to you? It's downstream, it's upstream, it's alignment, it's desire, it's belief, it's a vortex. In other words, there's no end to what we're willing to say to you in order to help you. But it isn't until you actually do the things and you actually feel the difference of being one day, almost all day in the vortex. We don't have to have any conversations with Esther ever again about the alignment of her being. She felt it, she's lived it, she wants it, she knows it's normal. Anything less than that is not acceptable. And now we want to say to you, that's what's been going on with you for a long time. The reason that it feels so dramatic to you is because you have, at very deep levels of your being, conscious awareness of what it feels like to be in the vortex. And being out of the vortex is just no longer acceptable. And that's the way we want it to be for all of you. We have enjoyed this interaction immensely. We can feel that we have convinced you of the existence of your vibrational reality. And we've done our best today to help you to feel the importance of your vibrational reality so that it may supersede your former feeling of importance of your reality. In other words, we think that it has been a pretty convincing conversation that your vibrational reality exists, and that as you turn your attention in the direction of it, you will come into the completion of who you are, which will give you the immediate benefit of feeling good, and then you have the exhilarating experience of now watching manifestations take form around it. We want you to have all of the things that you want. We want the material aspects of your life to frame up for you. We want you to have the money and the cars and the relationships and all of the physical state of beings. We want all of that stuff for you that you call the physical reflections or manifestations of your time-space reality. We want that for you. But more than that, we want for you to experience the sublime, delicious, intoxicating, addictive feeling of coming into full concert with who you are as you then watch all of those material things manifest around you. We're not for a moment trying to talk you out of the manifestation of the stuff you want. We just want to convince you that what you really want is to fill that in.